You'll finish this episode with a 30-second story, 3 distinct scenes, and one character who genuinely looks like the same person in every shot. No more jarring jumps between faces. No more praying the lighting god smile on you. By the time we're done, you'll have a complete narrative sequence built from a single reference image, and you'll know exactly how to push Gen-4's multi-shot engine to its limit. Here's the problem. Most AI video tools treat every scene as a fresh roll of the dice. You generate a character you love in shot 1. Then shot 2 gives you a completely different person wearing their clothes. The face shifts, the hair changes, the vibe dies. For anyone making narrative content, short films, brand stories, music videos, this kills the entire project. You can't sell a story when your protagonist morphs into a stranger every 3 seconds. This feature exists for directors, YouTubers, and indie filmmakers who need continuity without hiring actors or renting studios. If you've ever spent hours generating variations just to find 2 matching frames, this is built for you. It's also for commercial editors pitching product narratives, where consistency equals credibility. If you're tired of Frankenstein edits and want a single tool that holds a character's identity across cuts, this removes that entire headache. Let's start with your reference image. Upload a clear, front-facing portrait of the character you want to carry through the story. This is your anchor. Gen-4 uses it to lock in facial structure, skin texture, and hair. The sharper the image, the tighter the consistency. Avoid group photos, heavy filters, or extreme angles. The engine needs a clean baseline to extrapolate from. Once it's uploaded, you're going to write your 3 scene prompts separately. Do not try to generate them in one giant block. Separate prompts give you control over pacing, action, and camera moves per scene. Gen-4 treats each prompt as an independent shot, then stitches them via the character reference. So scene 1 might be, character walks into a dim alley, neon glow on face. Scene 2. Character pulls out a phone, reacts with shock. Scene 3. Character runs toward a bright exit. Each prompt pulls the same face from your reference. Now here's the trick that matters. In every prompt, explicitly state the character's outfit, hair, and the time of day. Right, wearing the same gray jacket, even if it seems redundant. The engine is smart, but it defaults to creative interpretation unless you pin the details. I've seen characters suddenly swap jackets between scenes because the prompt didn't specify. That instantly breaks the illusion. After generating each scene, you'll have 3 individual clips. Play them side by side before you commit to editing. Look at the eyes, the jawline, the way the character holds their shoulders. Small shifts happen. If scene 2's face is slightly off, regenerate that single scene with the same prompt, but tweak one detail. Maybe change shock to wide-eyed surprise. The regeneration keeps the reference lock, so you're not starting over. When you're happy with all 3, you'll bring them into your timeline. The tool lets you export each clip as a separate file, which is exactly what you want. Overlap the cuts slightly, and use a cross-dissolve or a hard cut depending on the pacing. For a punchy story, hard cuts work best. For a dreamy vibe, blend them. Sync your audio track to the visual rhythm, and you've got your 30-second narrative. Here's why the order matters. Reference first sets the identity. Separate prompts give you scene control. Explicit details prevent drift. And side-by-side review catches errors before they cost you editing time. If you skip any step, you're gambling with character consistency. The whole point of this feature is removing luck from the equation. Now let me run a real test. I built a 30-second story about a courier discovering a mysterious package in a rainy city. I uploaded a reference image of a man in his 30s with short dark hair and a stubble beard. Scene 1. He's walking through a crowded market, rain dripping off his jacket. Scene 2. He spots the package on a bench, crouches to inspect it. Scene 3. He opens it and reacts with cautious surprise. 3 separate generations, each prompt explicitly stating same man, same brown jacket, same wet hair. Timing. Each scene took about 4 minutes to generate. That's 12 minutes total for all 3. Cost came to roughly 6 cents per generation, under 20 cents for the entire story. Export gave me 3 clips totaling 108 megabytes, manageable for upload. Output quality was sharp at 1080p resolution, and the character's face held steady across all 3 scenes. The only difference was expression and camera distance. His eyes stayed consistent. The facial structure didn't warp, and the lighting changes felt natural rather than jarring. Compared to previous attempts where I'd see a new face per clip, this felt like working with an actual actor. Let me be honest about the limits. First, this feature stumbles with extreme angles. If you generate a close-up profile view, the face can distort because the reference is a frontal portrait. The engine has to guess what the side of the face looks like, and sometimes it invents details that don't match. Push it to a shot from behind, and the character's appearance starts drifting. Second, it cannot handle significant age changes. If your story jumps from a young character to the same character 20 years later, the tool will give you a new person pretending to be older. It reshapes features so aggressively that continuity breaks. Third, it fails with identical twins or lookalikes. If two characters in your story share a similar face, the reference lock gets confused and merges them into one. That's a disaster for a scene with two people. You should not use this. If you're making abstract content where characters barely matter, skip this. If your narrative relies on visual effects or morphing bodies, you'll fight the tool rather than work with it. And if your reference image is low quality, you're wasting time. The engine amplifies flaws, so a blurry phone photo gives you a blurry character. The obvious alternative is Midjourney's character reference, paired with a separate video tool like Kling or Pika. You generate your consistent frames in Midjourney, then animate each one. That workflow gives you more stylistic control over the stills, and it lets you tweak the character's look before committing to motion. But it's slower. You're juggling two tools, re-uploading images and syncing prompts. Midjourney wins if you need painterly, stylized visuals that Gen 4's realistic leaning can't match. For cartoon or anime aesthetics, that pipeline is still the champion. For realistic live-action style, Gen 4's integrated approach is faster and keeps the chain unbroken. So here's your move today. Take one reference image of any character you've got lying around, write 3 short scene prompts, and generate just one pass. Don't edit yet. Just see if the face holds. That test takes under 15 minutes and tells you everything you need to know about your specific character. If it holds, you know the feature works for you. If it drifts, adjust your prompts with more explicit details. Using Gen 4 for product marketing videos, we'll take the same consistency trick and apply it to a commercial setting.